Tonight at the Reich Center, the Cardinals seek back-to-back wins in OAC play. They'll take on the Marietta Pioneers, whom the Cardinals struggled against earlier this season. They allowed the Pioneers to shoot 58% from three-point range and fell 90-62 at Marietta. Now it's time for redemption as Colin Eccleberry and breakout player John Jurgens try to lead the Cardinals to their 7th victory of the Todd Adrian era. Will the sun set on the Cardinals season? We'll find out next on Otterbein TV. Welcome to Otterbein University here in Westerville, Ohio. We are in the Reich Center right now, Otterbein TV, bringing you live coverage of tonight's game between the Otterbein Cardinals and the Marietta Pioneers. Here at Otterbein, where the Cardinals come into this game 6-11, 3-7 within the OAC. Marietta comes in 13-4, 9-1 in the OAC. Their only loss coming to Baldwin Wallace. And Marietta, the Pioneers, come in as the #1 team in the conference. So the Otterbein Cardinals definitely have a tall task tonight as the Marietta Pioneers, the top team in the conference, come in to their home stadium. So what can we kind of look at in this matchup? What can we focus on? I think it's a lot about the three-point shot. Marietta, last time that these two teams played, Marietta scored 90 points, Otterbein only 62. So, Otterbein definitely got punched in the mouth a little bit, and they weren't really able to respond the rest of that game. So, Otterbein's definitely going to have to play better defense and guard that three-point line a little bit better than they did last time, as that really proved to be the big difference in the game. Also, last time when the Otterbein Cardinals faced Marietta on the road earlier this season, back in December, the Cardinals actually committed 21 turnovers. The most turnovers they've committed in one game thus far this season. So the Cardinals, they have to protect the ball and defend the three-point line. Marietta comes in 40% from the three-point line, so a very good three-point shooting team, and unfortunately the Otterbein Cardinals found that out the hard way back in December. The Cardinals coming off a win against Muskingum this past Saturday after losing 7 in a row, but back to their winning ways as they got a win on the road against the Muskies to end that losing streak. So a 7-game losing streak followed by a win this past Saturday against Muskingum. Marietta, on the other hand, they've won 4 in a row, one of which was the Capital, who had not lost an OAC game at the time that these two teams played. Marietta went on the road and beat Capital on a buzzer beater. 69-68 was the score in that one to hand Capital their first conference loss. So Marietta, like we said, #1 in the conference, and they're going to come in. They're going to shoot a lot of three-pointers. Their only loss, like we said, to Baldwin Wallace, a team that really, I think, has been a little bit disappointing to a lot of people, especially at Baldwin Wallace. Right now, we are going to take a short break here on Otterbein TV. I'm Harrison Ralph. Jordan Brown, our sideline reporter, will join me in the next segment. Stay tuned.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
This is great. Every day should be like this.
It will be when I retire in a few years. I've been planning and saving. Did you save for me?
Well, this is unexpected.
Where'd you come from? Out of the blue, just like an illness, an emergency, or
That's enough, Mr. Unexpected.
Savings Man.
There's still time to plan. Find out how at choosetosave.org with a ballpark estimate worksheet.
I will. Thanks, Savings Man.
No, thank you.
So visit choosetosave.org today.
In a world of fear, what they needed most was each other. Here comes the monster. The Tickle Monster. Just imagine what a little time can do for your family. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
The inability to breathe, snot pouring out of your nose, it's a real hairy business. As a firefighter, I'm a student of the weather, and I've noticed that there's a change that's occurred in the last several years. We're having many more large and damaging fires. Sometimes thousands of fires will occur. If the climate changes and we don't have the water we need, California could dry up and blow away.
There comes a time in life when you need government information.
And you just don't know which way to turn.
USA.gov. Find your Social Security benefits online.
USA.gov.
Our list of jobs will put you on cloud nine.
USA.gov.
Shop auctions for a used minivan anytime.
USA.gov.
It's government made easy
For the people. USA.gov.
Back at Otterbein University, Westerville, Ohio. We're here in the Reich Center to bring you live coverage on Otterbein TV of the Marietta Pioneers as they come in to face the Otterbein Cardinals in men's basketball. Tip-off is at 7:30, right around the corner. Right now I am joined by Jordan Brown. And Jordan, we're talking a little bit about the seniors of Marietta and how they have been able to lead this team to a 9-1 conference record.
Right, exactly. Jacob Owens and J.J. Martin are going to be the real key players tonight for Marietta. Jacob Owens scoring 16.8 points on average a game, and J.J. Martin 8.8. They're definitely going to be the threat for the Cards, and we're going to see if they're going to be able to handle that.
Yeah, and Jacob Owens is actually the one that hit that buzzer beater on the road at Capitol to give them that 1-point win at the buzzer. So they got some clutch guys. I know 2 years ago when Marietta came here to the Reich Center, Tyler Hammond, who's now a junior, at the time was a freshman, hit a buzzer beater to break the hearts of Cardinal fans here in the Reich Center. So this team can come up clutch, and Jacob Owens, one of the seniors that you mentioned there, is another one of those guys that can do that down the stretch of the game. So moving on now, what about the Cardinals? They haven't had a whole lot of success here in the Reich Center. Do you want to expound on that a little bit?
Well, the Cards came into this season 2-0, and after 7 straight losses, 6 of their last home games have ended in a loss. So I think this is a huge game for the Cardinals, not only for them to get one of the home wins under their belt, but also just to get this team, knock them down just a little bit with such a high record.
And any other important information you think we might want to know, Jordan?
I think with the 4 losses for Otterbein, with 7 of them, being games that, were so close, I think 2 of them were, by 2 points or less. The Cards are hungry for a win. They want this more than anything. So I think that might be a motivational factor for them to get out here and really have that determination to beat Marietta.
All right, well, thanks, Jordan. We're going to take another short break here on Otterbein TV. Jordan will be along a little bit later once we tip off. We'll come down to her, as we do always, for sideline reports and interviews at halftime and after the game. So make sure you stick around for those. Right now, we're going to take a break on the other end. I'll be back, and we'll take a little look at a sit-down interview I had with senior Cardinal Zach Baconhasser. That's on the other end of the break. Stay tuned.
I thought you guys were cleaning out here.
Oh, we are. We're, sweeping.
Yeah, for space aliens.
Yeah, for space aliens.
Boom. Good luck with that.
Imagine what a little time can do for your family.
I think our work is done.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
She passed away about 6 months ago. Sure, yeah, they missed their mom. It was hard to learn that there was no cure. You don't want to see somebody that you love suffer. So we sought hospice care. Hospice people made her feel comfortable and pain-free. At first, the girls didn't know what was going on. the girls knew that Mommy was sick, that Mommy wasn't feeling well, but they didn't know that Mommy was going to die. I don't always have the answers, the best answers to the questions that they're going to ask about what's going on, and often the hospice people would be there, and they helped. They helped me and the girls through just an incredibly hard time.
In a world of fear, what they needed most was each other. Here comes the monster. The Tickle Monster. Just imagine what a little time can do for your family. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Harrison Ralph back here on Otterbein TV with the pre-game show. We're only minutes away now from tip-off between the Marietta Pioneers, the #1 team in the Ohio Athletic Conference, against the Otterbein Cardinals here in the Reich Center. Right now, we're going to play a little clip of the sit-down interview that I had with Zach Baconhasser, senior on the men's basketball team, averaging 11 points and 7 rebounds per game. I sat down with him and talked a little bit about the team and where they are and where they hope to be in the coming weeks, the rest of the season.
There's a lot of variables that play into the answer of my next question, but 5-11 last year after 16 games, 5-11 this year after 16 games, like we said earlier, a lot of similarities. But then you look at the coaches, Dick Reynolds and Todd Adrian, and there's almost no similarity between those two guys. Two very, very different styles of coaching. Kind of tell us a little bit about each of those styles and how they're different and how you think it has changed the way that this team plays basketball.
Well, old style, Coach Reynolds' style was a lot of let's walk the ball up the court, get in the half-court offense, run the same plays he's run for 40 years. And they knew him, but there was so many counters that you could do to him to get the ball in the hoop. Todd Adrian's style is, let's push, get the ball up the floor, and it's defense. We're all about defense. We're the best defensive team in the league right now, according to stats. So he is all about just in your face, let's get after defensively, let's get on the floor, get after the ball, get every 50-50 ball, and then let's push the ball, let's push it right down their throats. So I think that's the biggest difference in coaching styles with Coach Reynolds and Coach Adrian.
You think that was difficult or still is difficult for guys that have, especially like yourself, that have played with Reynolds, their whole college career, and then you bring a guy like Adrian who has that different playing style. Was that at the beginning of the year difficult for some of you guys?
I wouldn't go as far as difficult, but I would go to say it was different. I think I've told you earlier in the year, it was different, and it was adjustment that needed to be made, and I think guys are still trying to make that adjustment, but it's a good adjustment and it's a good different because it's exactly what's needed in today's game, and it's exactly what our team needs because that's what everybody else is doing, and to just be able to get after it and get up on defense and push the ball is what we need to do to beat teams. And so I think everybody is adjusting well, but there's still, you can see here and there, little times where you could see going back to the old system. You could see, a guy standing around in defense with his hands down, where that's where we would have been last year.
We welcome you back here in the Reich Center. I'm now joined by David Kinder, who's going to be calling the game with me here tonight. Marietta Pioneers and the Otterbein Cardinals squaring off in just a few minutes. David, what are some things, looking at this matchup, the Cardinals and the Pioneers side here is going to be trying to do against each other?
Well, when you look at it, it's two teams that couldn't be going in more opposite directions. Marietta coming into this one 13-4 overall, 9-1 in the conference. The Cards just broke a 7-game losing skid when they did so when they defeated Muskingum last week, 74-61. Marietta, comes into this one tops in scoring in the OAC, while Otterbein's dead last, 10th place. Obviously something to look forward to in this one. And then obviously to look forward to also is the play around the three-point perimeter. The Cards were able to get that win last week mainly because of senior guard Tommy Waterwash and junior guard Colin Eckleberry, who both had breakout games behind the perimeter. Waterwash was able to go 4 of 7, while Eckleberry was 6 of 9, contributing to the Cards finally being able to break that 7-game losing streak and getting back into the winning side of things.
And there's an interesting matchup in the backcourt between these two teams. A lot of good guards. Talk a little bit about that.
Definitely between the two guards, and then looking up, even in the front court too, you have Van Meter, we just learned, will be coming off the bench for the Cardinals in this one, and as will Baconasser will be starting. Those two are 3rd and 4th respectively in the conference in rebounding, averaging 6.5 and 7.1 rebounds a game, and they'll be going against the star from Marietta, who is J.J. Martin, who is 2nd in the conference in scoring in this one. Interesting to see if they can hold him in check today.
And a late word on C.J. Julian, Otterbein guard. He is injured. He may play. He may not play. Still dealing with that back soreness he suffered a couple weeks ago. We are going to take another short break, and on the other end, we'll have the tip for you here. David Kinder, Harrison Ralph, Otterbein TV. Stay tuned.
I thought you guys were cleaning out here.
Oh, we are. We're sweeping.
Yeah, for space aliens.
Yeah, for space aliens.
Boom. Good luck with that.
Imagine what a little time can do for your family.
I think our work is done.
From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
She passed away about 6 months ago. Sure, yeah, they missed their mom. It was hard to learn that there was no cure. You know, you don't want to see somebody that you love suffer. So we sought hospice care. Hospice people made her feel comfortable and pain-free. At first, the girls didn't know what was going on. The girls knew that Mommy was sick, that Mommy wasn't feeling well, but they didn't know that Mommy was going to die. I don't always have the answers, the best answers to the questions that they're going to ask about what's going on, and often the hospice people would be there, and they helped. You know, they helped me and the girls through just an incredibly hard time.
In a world of fear, what they needed most was each other. Here comes the monster. The Tickle Monster. Just imagine what a little time can do for your family. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
And with that, we get set here on Otterbein TV for tip-off between the Marietta Pioneers coming in with a record of 13-4 and a 9-1 conference record as they face the Otterbein Cardinals 6-11 with a 3-7 conference record. I'm Harrison Ralph, along with David Kinder up here in the booth, and right now we will go through starting lineups. David, you got Marietta.
For the visiting Pioneers from Marietta, who are currently in the first place in the conference, they'll take the court like this. Scott Kimley will wear number 14. He's the senior forward from Olmsted Falls. Number 15, Tyler Hammonds, the junior guard from Cleveland St. Ignatius. The team's leading scorer with 16.8 points a game will wear number 21. He's the senior forward, J.J. Martin from Huntington, West Virginia. Jacob Owens is number 22, the senior guard from Mansfield, Ohio. And rounding out, the senior forward, Jason Humphreys, will wear number 32 from Naples, Florida. Harrison, for the home team Cardinals?
Yes, for the Otterbein Cardinals, starting with the guards, Andy Yazernbeck, number 1, the sophomore guard, 6 foot 170. Coming in at 6'4", 170 as well is Colin Eccleberry, number 12. Jake Bischoff is the freshman who is actually only playing in his 7th game of the season as he transferred in to Otterbein halfway through the season. And then down low you have John Juergens, the junior forward, number 23, and number 52, Zach Baconhasser, the senior, doing the banging around underneath, getting those tough boards, and working hard down there. And we're going to get started here in a couple minutes as the clock has been set at 20 minutes, and we are just moments away now from the tip.
Important for the Cardinals here in this one, as we mentioned in the pregame, get out to a quick start. I'd like to see if Coach Adrian goes with a fast attack and tries to attack from the three-point perimeter in this one. The Cards shooting over 40% this year from beyond the arc, and as we mentioned, Waterwash and Eccleberry really had breakout games last week when the Cards were able to finally stop that 7-game losing skid over Muskingum. Not saying much, Muskingum dead last in the conference, only 1 win in the year, but they were able to get the W, mainly because they're effective shooting from the three-point line.
That is correct, David. And yeah, I mean, a win's a win, but you can also look at it and say, well, it's the worst team in the conference. They haven't won a conference game all season. But a win is a win, and it puts an end to that 7-game losing streak the Otterbein Cardinals were on currently at the time that they played Muskingum this past Saturday. Right now, we are just about ready for tip. The cheerleaders up in the aisles getting the crowd going. And here on January 23rd, 2013, the Marietta Pioneers at 9-1 conference record come in to play our Otterbein Cardinals here in Westerville, Ohio in the Reich Center. A little delay here. I'm not sure exactly where it is. It looks like some kind of confusion over at the scorer's table. Todd, Adrian, and assistant coach Hurley down at the scorer's table looking at, I'm assuming the rosters and the starting lineups. Vanderwall, the Marietta head coach, not involved in that meeting there at the scorer's table. So I'm not sure if maybe Marietta pointed something out to the referees, and the Cardinals are now having to fix some things, but still trying to figure out exactly. And it looks like the confusion was with the starting lineup for the Cardinals. So Max Van Meter, the leading scorer for the Cardinals, will actually be in the starting lineup. He will jump for the tip, and exiting the court is John Juergens. So a substitution before the game even starts, David.
Yeah, kind of a surprise there. There was no Van Meter coming off the bench we were expecting. Not sure what was the confusion there, but interesting to see if they'll be able to play well with the offense they had in mind with the sudden switch.
So after the confusion, we are underway here in Westerville, Ohio. The Reich Center here on Reynolds Court. Andy Yazernbeck will bring it across half court for the Cardinals. Eccleberry on the far side, back to Yazernbeck. Eccleberry open three, good, and Otterbein comes out hot as the senior Colin Eccleberry buries the three to start the game. And that's good to see. Colin Eccleberry is a very streaky shooter, guy you definitely want to get going early. Tyler Hammond now driving against Yazernbeck, floats it up, and the junior puts it in for the Pioneers' first points of the day. Yazernbeck off a screen from Van Meter. Van Meter drives up with the right, rims out, no good, too hard off the glass, and Marietta's going the other way. Hammond out to J.J. Martin, the senior. He's going to drive on Baconhasser, up and off the window, good for 2 points, and Marietta has their first lead of the ball game. Bischoff now, the freshman, pressured by that Pioneer defense, and Eckelberry now. Back to Bischoff. Screen set by Van Meter. Goes to Yazernbeck, wide open three. Hesitated a little bit. Put it up, no good. Eckelberry with somewhat of a rebound. Ball still loose. Out of bounds off blue, says the referee, and Otterbein retains possession with the shot clock at 31.
Good hustle there by Eckelberry, the junior guard, able to find the ball on the court and be able to throw it in and knock it off a Marietta player so the Cardinals can keep possession of it. A little bit of sloppy ball handling there on that possession. Like to see them be able to work it down low a little more to their bigs and try to get in for the easier baskets.
So the ball now inbounded for the Cardinals. Bischoff looking down low, instead goes back to Eckelberry, dribbles left, looks right, gives it Juergens, long two, no good off the front of the rim, way short. And here comes Tyler Hammond bringing the Pioneers in transition. Open three, Jacob Owens far side, no good. Hits the front of the rim, rebounded by the senior Colin Eckelberry. Eckelberry all over the floor right now. Juergens beating the Pioneer defense down the floor, cannot capitalize as he puts it up, no good. And the Pioneers coming the other way. Pump fake from J.J. Martin, pulls up, shoots a three. Again, no good, and these two teams, after making their first couple buckets, have missed their last couple buckets. Eckelberry now, and a little bit of sloppy basketball right now as the Cardinals are going to lose that jump ball, and Marietta will take over. So a turnover there for the Cardinals as they trail 4-3.
Past 4 or 5 possessions out there looking like a track meet for both teams, just running up and down the court and rifling the first open shot they get. Neither team really setting up their offenses in any sort of way to set up a good quality basket shot, just firing at the first shot, missing, going to the other team and running up and down the court.
Now Owens driving baseline against Baconhasser. Hammond for three. No good. Bischoff with the rebound. He's going to push it up court. Baconhasser hauls in the lollipop pass, and we're going to get a foul against Tyler Hammond. So Baconhasser will go to the line. Nice job there by the Cardinals, and good recognition by Jake Bischoff to get the basketball up the court and into the hands of the senior. Draws the foul, goes to the line. He will be shooting two, looking to give Otterbein the lead.
Baconhasser is a 65% free throw shooter this year, making 41 of 63 attempts. Make it 42.
C.J. Julian nursing that sore back, comes in to replace Colin Eckelberry, who will head to the bench for a quick rest. And Baconhasser puts both of his free throws through, and the Cardinals now lead 5-4, 17 minutes remaining here in the first half. In for Marietta is Tyler Warstell. He played very well in the game earlier this season against the Cardinals. Now J.J. Martin, wide open three. Juergens tried to contend, does enough, and Martin misses another three. Marietta struggling from the arc, something they're not really used to, shooting 40% coming into this game from the three-point line. And a turnover there, Yazernbeck and Juergens with a miscommunication, and the Pioneers now in transition. Aggressive defense by C.J. Julian over on Scott Kimmy. Down low, and some physicality now down low is, I believe that's Garrett Stevenson down low. Yazernbeck sticking his nose in there, and I mean that literally, is he gets hit hard under the bucket, takes the charge. Cardinals possession. That's something, David, that they've done really well this season is get in there and take charge. You know, sacrifice their body, take a little bit of a hit, and get that ball back going in their possession. Derek Dickey now, defended by Tyler Worstel. Bischoff, Juergens. Julian comes around, now gives to Dickey. Dickey, nice pass down to Baconhaster, and he puts it in for two. Nice offense there by the Cardinals. Very smooth flow on that possession right there for Todd Adrian's team.
Good all-around ball movement by everyone on the court. I think all 5 players touched it at least once on that possession there. They're able to work it down low to Baconhaster, the big forward, averaging 11.2 a game.
And Marietta turns it over. Dickey now to Julian. Ball going around the perimeter. Bischoff down low. Juergens sets a screen for Dickey. Dickey back to Juergens. Juergens to Baconhaster. Pump fakes, goes up and gets it in. And Zach Baconhaster has a quick 6 points with 15 and a half minutes left to play in the first half. The Cardinals lead 9-4.
Now we see it again there. The Cardinals came out initially taking some 3-point goals, 1 of 2 from behind the line, but they're able on the past few possessions to work it down low to the big 52 Zach Baconhaster down low playing the forward. As we said, he came into this one third in the conference and rebounding, but he's showing off his scoring touch there now with 6 points. They've been able to find their post man down low, and despite the hesitation on that last one, he was able to go up and with the easy point, come away with 2, and the Cards now lead 9-4.
Marietta 0 for 4 from behind the 3-point line. Something that would have been nice to have happen back in December when the Cardinals were ambushed by the Pioneers and their 3-point shooting ability. Pioneers shot 58% in that game, 18 for 31. Absolutely dominating the Cardinals with their 3-point shooting, but right now, Marietta comes in to the right center very cold and yet to hit a 3-point shot. Cardinals with a 5-point lead. Worstel, shot clock at 15. Nice spin move there. Good defense by Van Meter to pick up his teammate, but to no avail. And Kimmy puts it in for Marietta. 9-6 is their score. Van Meter defended by J.J. Martin. Dickey off a screen. Bischoff. Van Meter's going to take the mid-range jumper and put it in over the outstretched hand of J.J. Martin. Max Van Meter for 2. Worstel will bring it up. J.J. Martin open 3. He's going to take that every time. Still can't get it to go, and we're going to get it over the back foul against Garrett Stevenson. So things going well right now for the Cardinals. 5.5 minutes into the game. And the Cardinals doing a lot better than they did in that first half against Marietta back in December. The reason we keep mentioning that is the Otterbein Cardinals got absolutely annihilated on the road in front of the Pioneer home crowd. 90-62 was the final score in that one. And the Cardinals really, I mean, by about, halfway through the first half, the Cardinals really were out of it because Marietta was just scoring at will, and the Otterbein Cardinals were turning the basketball over. Actually finished that game with 21 turnovers, the most that they have committed in a game this season. Now Ackerberry off a couple screens. Yazerbeck defended by Worstel. Yazerbeck drives baseline. Nice bounce pass to Van Meer. Puts it up, misses, and the rebound is gathered by McKee. Brendan McKean, who led the Pioneers in scoring in the previous matchup, goes down low to, I believe that is Matt Napier, who travels. So Marietta coming out very sloppy, and Coach Vanderwall on the Pioneers sideline clearly upset. Can't blame him. Kylie Gessner now, who has yet to miss a three-pointer, only just 3 for 3, but definitely a sharpshooter for the Cardinals, enters the game. Van Meter checks out, Juergens checks out. Baconhaster checks back in. So on the court for the Cardinals, Andy Yazerbeck, Colin Eckelberry, Tommy Waterwash, Zach Baconhaster, and Kylie Gessner. Man-to-man defense played by the Pioneers. Eckelberry goes to his left. Yazerbeck from 3, no good. Rebounded by Napier, and here come the Pioneers. Worstel crosses half court, gets it up to McKean. He's going to slow it down a little bit. Now for tip pass there by Tommy Waterwash, getting his hands up. McKean, a short jumper, no good off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Yazernbeck. Yazernbeck, lob pass to Baconhasser, ran out of real estate, and steps on the baseline for an Otterbein turnover. Trying to get a little bit greedy there maybe by Baconhasser and Yazernbeck. I think Andy Yazernbeck had seen Baconhasser a little bit earlier. That may have been a successful play. However, that was not the case, and the Otterbein Cardinals turned it over. Missed shot again by Marietta, and that ball, nice play by Yazernbeck, atoning for his last turnover. He's going to go up and put it in. The Otterbein Cardinals now 13-6 over the Pioneers. Good play there by Andy Yazernbeck. And it's going to be a travel, so again, the Pioneers continue their sloppy play. Jacob Owens will now enter for Garcia.
Cardinal defense done a wonderful job so far. Coach Vanderwall can't be too happy with how his boys are playing. They've played a very tight defense around the perimeter, not allowing the Pioneers to work too far into that inside. And even when they do get them on the outside, they've been double teaming them, forcing those turnovers and the travel calls like we've seen on the past few possessions.
Gessner, Bischoff, Eckelberry, Baconhasser, and Yazernbeck on the floor for Otterbein. 13-6 your score, 12.5 minutes left until intermission. Bischoff off a screen, looks to go to Baconhasser, does so. Off a pump fake, Baconhasser drives the lane, he gets fouled, puts the shot up, and it's actually going to be a traveling violation. So what appeared at first to be a shooting foul is actually a traveling violation. In possession now to Marietta. Very sluggish start here for the Pioneers through the first 8 minutes of play. Todd, Adrian and the Cardinals, 7-point lead as Worstel misses the pull-up jumper. Yazernbeck now looking to push. Instead is going to give it out to Baconhasser, top of the key. Now far side to Eckelberry. Eckelberry for three, no good. Rebounded by Napier. Worstel pushing it up the floor for Marietta. McKean to Jacob Owens, top of the key, wide open three, and he hits it. So Marietta, on their sixth three-point attempt, finally get one to fall. 13-9 your score. Otterbein leads by 4.
Yeah, Owens, a guy you got to watch out a lot for on that perimeter, shooting 52% on 63 attempts from downtown this year for the Pioneers, so someone to keep an eye out for.
And an illegal screen right there against Zach Baconhasser. Another turnover there for the Cardinals. Another wasted possession there. Juergens in for Baconhasser, Van Meter in for, I believe it was Kylie Gessner. Yes, in for Kylie Gessner. Owens drives, no good, misses the rim. Here comes Yazernbeck. Juergens with the ball. He had a very good game last week against Muskingum. And an ill-advised pass there from Eckelberry. And Owens misses the layup, but right there his teammate McKean comes up with the offensive rebound, puts it up and in. Owens palms to the sky looking for a foul call, didn't get it. Pioneers still get the 2 points, 13-11 your score. Yazernbeck gets by Worstel, nice pass at the last second. Over to John Juergens, who puts it off the window in for 2. Otterbein 4-point lead, 15-11. And this Marietta team is full of guys that have been, and it's going to be charged. Max Van Meter takes the charge this time and gives the ball back to the Cardinals. But as I was saying, this Marietta team has a lot of players that have been playing together now for a long time. Tyler Hammond, Tyler Worstel, Jacob Owens. These guys are all guys that have been here for a couple years. These guys are juniors that came in together as freshmen, and right off the bat as freshmen play a lot. And so these guys are very experienced playing with each other. On the other side, Otterbein really isn't. A lot of these guys, are new to the team, or if they're not new to the team, They haven't played a whole lot together, and especially with the coaching change, there's not near as much continuity on the side of Otterbein as there is in Marietta.
You definitely see that reflected, obviously, in the records of both these teams. The young Cardinals coming in just 6-11, but the Pioneers, as you said, have played together for most of their careers. They've had a coach who's been there for 6 years at the helm now, obviously first in the Ohio Athletic Conference.
So Juergens goes to the line and hits his first. John Juergens beginning to step up big for the Otterbein Cardinals here in the second half of the season.
Juergens, a 73% free throw shooter, makes the second.
Owens to McKean. McKean up with the right hand, good. Drives the lane, pretty much uncontested. Otterbein did not step up. End up giving up the easy bucket. CJ Julian. Far side, gets it stolen by McKean, and then picks up a foul on that side of the court. So not a good sequence of events there for CJ Julian and his team as he turns it over and then picks up a silly foul. And he will now exit as Jason Davis will come in, number 2, to replace CJ Julian.
Turnover starting to be a problem on these past few possessions for the Cardinals. Coming into this one, averaging a high 13.1 per game. And you mentioned the last time they faced off against these Pioneers, had an incredible 21 of them. Coach Adrian's boys want to stay in this one. It's important that they keep possession of the ball and on their own court. And don't give it over to the Pioneers.
And Juergens looks to have gotten cut on one of the last plays, gets that taken care of. And is back on the floor, and we will now resume play as the Cardinals still lead 17-13 over the Marietta Pioneers. McKean for 3. And Juergens collides there with Andy Yazernbeck. Looks to be okay. Man, he hit the court hard. His teammates over on the bench encouraging Juergens as he shows a lot of toughness. Getting back on the other end for the Cardinals, Van Meter just inside the 3-point line, back to Yazernbeck. That was a rough collision there. Everyone looks to be okay. Cross-court pass from Bischoff to Van Meter, off the rim, no good. Marietta now in possession. Owens pushing it up. McKean for 3, no good again. Marietta can't get the 3 to fall. However, they do pick up the offensive rebound. J.J. Martin off the window for Marietta, and the score now 17-15. Cardinals lead by just 1 possession. Davis to Juergens to Van Meter. Bischoff around the perimeter against the senior. Jacob Owens drives and finishes beautifully with that left hand. Cardinals lead now back to 4, 8.5 left to play in half number 1. And a foul there picked up by Juergens trying to defend the elusive guard, Hammond. Riley Gester, Zach Baconhasser now check in for Otterbein. Van Meter and Juergens exit the floor. McKean and Napier exit for Marietta. Coming in is Humphreys, along with Scott Kimmey, the senior. Nice job there, Baconhasser reading that pass beautifully. Picks it off. Now going the other way, Jason Davis. May have had a look at a 3, instead pulls it back. Looks to work the offense a little bit. Yazernbeck now. Off a screen from Baconhasser. Bischoff for 3. Good! And Bischoff hits it from beyond the arc, and a little bit of a role reversal here from what we saw the first time these two teams met, as the Cardinals are hitting shots. Marietta really struggling from the field. Jacob Owens the only 3 so far for Marietta, as Hammond misses another 3. Owens back to Hammond. He's going to chuck up another one. No good again. And the Pioneers now 1 for 9 from beyond the arc. And now Baconhasser careless with the ball. Gets it poked away by Humphreys. Owens comes up with it. He's going to drive, and he gets it stolen away. Bischoff now 3-on-2. advantage Otterbein Cardinals. Instead, Bischoff pulls it out. Otterbein will look to work the offense. Gessner now back out to Yazernbeck. 3 for Jason Davis. Buries it. And Jason Davis gives the Cardinals a 3-point shot right there. And the Cardinals now lead by double digits, 25-15 here in the Reich Center. Otterbein 10 points ahead of the #1 Marietta Pioneers.
Jason Davis, not someone you'd expect to come off the bench and be able to hit a three-pointer, only making 3 of 12 attempts this year, but he comes off and he's able to give the Cardinals their 4th three-point goal of the game. We mentioned in the pregame show that that'd be a huge key for the Cardinals to have success in this one over the top-ranked team in the conference if they can come out and hit from beyond the perimeter, and indeed they have. The only thing that's got to be troubling for Coach Adrian now is the boys have turned the ball over. Actually, both teams, in fact, have turned it over quite a bit. 16 turnovers overall in the game, 8 apiece for both squads. If the Cardinals want to have success going into the halftime and then again in the second half, they need to limit the turnovers and slow down the offensive play on their side and try to have better ball control, try to get it down in those lanes to the post players down low and stop being sloppy with their ball handling and their passing.
Exactly, David, and after the timeout, we'll see if Marietta can get it together. They've won 4 in a row, including one against Capital, who at the time had not lost a conference game, but Marietta went on the road to Bexley. Hammond now goes up. Very good defense by the Cardinals. Kylie Gessner getting a hand in the face of Hammond, alters the shot, ends up being no good. Beautiful pass to no avail as Baconhaster misses it. Tries to go up with the left hand, no good. Worstell now on the other end. Dishes it out. This is Kimmy from the corner. Good, and the lefty drains it. So Marietta now just 2 for 11. Again, this is a team that lives and dies by that 3-point shot. So far they have struggled, but as we all know, in the game of basketball, you can get hot in a hurry. Cardinals hoping that is not the case tonight, as Davis now will dance around, gives to Baconhaster. Shot clock down to 10. Shot clock now down to 5. Biscoff is going to pull up for a crazy jump shot there, no good. And a bad offense right there by the Cardinals. Worstell now reckless with the basketball. Martin's going to step up, take a long 3, no good, and Marietta just keeps chucking up these 3-pointers. I mean, they're not even at the line. They're a step or 2 behind the line. I'm not sure exactly why they have that urge to shoot it up there, but I'm sure the Cardinals aren't complaining over there on the bench.
They're very eager to shoot, not taking a lot of time off the clock, just 2 of 11 on 3-point goals.
And that's just careless. Hammond now is going to lay it in. Bischoff, I think, learned a lesson right there, as the junior Tyler Hammond, a very athletic play on defense, making the steal and finishes at the other end.
It's always a coach's philosophy, too. If you're going to foul them when they're going up for the layup, you got to at least make sure that they don't make the basket and at least make them earn their points at the charity stripe instead of going for the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
J.J. Martin exits now.
Hammond, a 68% free throw shooter on the year. 23 of his 34 attempts have gone down.
To complete the 3-point play, Hammond way short. So that timeout by Vanderwall looks to have done some good things for the Pioneers, as at the point of timeout they trailed by 10, now they only trail by 5. Again, a turnover by the Cardinals, and this is becoming a common theme here. Hammond drives, looked a little reckless there, but shows he knew what he was doing all along, as uses that left hand off the glass, and now the lead for the Cardinals is just 3. Hackleberry over to Yazernbeck. Baconhaster underneath. Defense collapses on him, and a timeout now taken by Marietta, as number 32, Humphreys, comes away with that loose ball. We will send it now down to Jordan on the sideline. She's down On the floor reporting here for Otterbein TV, Jordan Brown, down to you. And looks like we have some difficulties. So Jordan will be along a little bit later. 4:13 left in half number one. The Cardinals clinging to that 3-point lead, 25-22 your score.
Coach Adrian have to be talking to his boys in the tan uniform about how to minimize the turnovers here before they hit the locker rooms. 11 of them now, and 3 on consecutive possessions. They've just been coming off bad passes down low, and the bigs haven't been able to hang on to them, as we saw the last one. Marietta able to rip it away and call the timeout before they could try for the jump ball. But a lot of sloppy passes we've seen out of the Cards here in this first half, and they're fortunate to have the 3-point lead that they do. It's mainly because of the effective shooting they've had from beyond the perimeter, while Marietta's outside game has been virtually non-existent, just 2 of 12 from behind the arc, and that's what's keeping them in this one so far.
And I would agree 100% with you, David, when you say that the Cardinals are very fortunate to have the lead that they have, really to have any lead at all. They turned the ball over 11 times. That's way too many. You know, you turn the ball over 21 times at Marietta, and you get, blown out of the gym. You're on pace to break that mark tonight, and somehow you have a 3-point lead, but a lot of that has to do with Marietta cold from beyond the 3-point line, just 2 for 12, 16% for the Pioneers. Worstel over to Humphrey. Pioneers moving the ball around the perimeter. Alley-oop, up and in. Kimmy to Humphrey for the alley-oop, and that was well run, well executed. Marietta Pioneer fans make themselves heard, as they like that play. Juergens now top of the key. Otterbein, 1-point lead. Shot clock down to 15. Yazerbeck's going to drive on Worstel. Gets it out to Eckelberry for 3. High arcing shot and buries it. Colin Eckelberry puts it down, and the Cardinals lead back to 4. 3:20 left in half number one.
Nice looking shot there in the corner, just hoists it up, is able to go down. Eckelberry was 6 of 9 in the Cardinals' last game, the one they were victorious in, and that was one of the main reasons, was his ability to knock down the perimeter shots.
Worstel kicks it to Kimmy. Wild pass. Shot clock at 10. Worstel against Yazerbeck, puts it up too hard off the glass. Now over to Yazerbeck. Going to push it up the court. And just that's another pass right there, David. It's just the Otterbein Cardinals being careless with the basketball, and that's going to come back to get them. Surprised it hasn't already. Juergens now outside to Yazerbeck off the screen. Now off the pick and roll, Juergens goes to the rim, and a charge is taken by Humphrey. So looks like we have patched things up with Jordan Brown. She's down in the court. What do you have for us, Jordan?
Guys, during the last timeout, Coach Adrian said they only need a half a second to shoot that ball, and that's way too much time. Take away that half second. Take away their chance to shoot. Get your hands up. You can hear the bench screaming, hands, hands, hands. Not only to emphasize getting their hands up to block the shot, but to also give a little bit of distraction and keep them on their toes. Back up to you.
Thanks, Jordan. And I would say whatever the Otterbein Cardinals are doing on defense is working. It's the Marietta Pioneers shooting just 39% from the field, 16% from beyond the 3-point line. So Owens now taking a 3 from another area code, misses it, rattles out, and the Cardinals now just over 2 minutes left before that first buzzer, lead by 4. Yazerbeck down low. Van Meer defended by Martin. He's going to go up, get fouled, and it's going to be on the floor, so no shots for Van Meter. Baconhasser now will check back in for the Cardinals, replacing John Juergens, who now has a bandage on that left hand. Not sure exactly what happened there, but we'll try to find out exactly what happened there.
Substitution 33, Andy Statement.
Martin exits for Marietta. Bischoff gets the inbound. Yazernbeck setting it up. Bischoff now a long three, and he hits it. So Jake Bischoff says, yeah, I can make those shots too, Marietta. And Jacob Owens and Jake Bischoff, a little bit of exchanging words over there on the far side of the court. Now that's McKeon drives, no good, rims out. Rebounded by Van Meter, gives to Yazernbeck. And Owens and Bischoff are going at it. Battle of 22s. Baconhaster underneath, beautiful pass from Max Van Meter. Finds the senior Baconhaster, puts it off the window, and the Cardinals now get their biggest lead of the game, 33-24, now 33-26, after the lay-in from Warstell. Eckleberry defended by McKean. Off the pick and roll to Baconhaster, now to Van Meter, goes up, contested by Warstell, knocked out of bounds by Humphrey, so Otterbein will get a fresh shot clock here, 52 seconds to play.
Past few possessions, the Cardinals seem to have tuned up their passing down low, a couple fine passes. They just need to be able to convert down low now, as we've seen a few missed layups down there. Difficult shots, but ones they need to convert.
Bischoff pulls up for the jumper and hits it. Jake Bischoff, freshman, now getting hot for the Cardinals. 35-26, their score, 9-point lead for the Cardinals.
Bischoff with his eight points in the game now.
The Humphrey gets a corner, and he is fouled, I believe, by Van Meter on the floor.
Otterbein foul, 32, Max Van Meter.
Correction, they will give 2 shots to Humphrey. Todd Adrian not happy about that call. I don't blame him. It was a hard foul, but Humphrey did not look to be in the act of shooting. He misses free throw number 1.
You're going to foul someone. Humphrey, not the worst Pioneer to foul on the court, only shooting 63% on the year.
Yeah, this team, this Pioneer team really does not do very well percentage-wise from the free throw line, just 69% on the season. Cardinals also 69%, so not two teams that do a whole lot well from the free throw line. 23 seconds, Cardinals will hold, shot clock is off. Yazernbeck taking the time down. Bischoff now. Over to Van Meter. 3 seconds, 2. Van Meter's gonna have to put up the shot. He doesn't get it off, and that's just a missed opportunity there for the Cardinals as they don't get a shot off. However, they do head into the locker room with an 8-point lead here against the number 1 team in the conference, the Marietta Pioneers. We have Jordan Brown down on the floor, and she is now with Todd Adrian, who we'll send it down to them real quick for a quick interview here before halftime. Jordan?
Coach, you're up at the half. Colin Eckleberry started the game off with that powerful 3. How did that kind of set the mood for the rest of that first half?
Well, I thought Colin did a nice job, and that was set up by some penetration, which we had talked about. You know, I thought in the first game we weren't as aggressive, we weren't as organized as we needed to be. So we really challenged our guys to come out, execute our game of attacking and hitting open shots. And then defensively is really, I think, where we set a tone. We did a couple things to counteract their size in the post and what they like to do. And I couldn't be more happier with our guys, the way they execute. But the first half of this game defensively was about as good as we played.
They are not afraid to shoot behind the line, obviously. They're a very aggressive team from behind the line. How does your team kind of counteract that?
Well, we got to stay close to shooters. And if they get going downhill in transition, that's what they want to do. They're a very good team at doing that. So you kind of have to pick your spots and try and take away one and maybe give them a little bit of the other, make it tough. But it was a concerted effort to try and get them to not have a lot of open threes. And I think all but about 3 possessions we've done a good job. So if we can tighten those up in the second half, I like our chances.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jordan. We appreciate Todd Adrian stopping by before halftime. We will now take a short break. We'll toss you over to an interview with Zach Baconhaster. You saw a short preview in the pregame show. We will now give you an extended version here during halftime. David Kinder and I will be back on the other end of this break here on Otterbein TV, where the Otterbein Cardinals lead the Marietta Pioneers 35-27.
And now, another adventure with Savings Man.
Look, honey, it's my Social Security statement.
Oh gosh, how are we gonna retire on that?
Never fear, young savers.
It's Savings Man.
You need to save more. You'll need this.
Oh, the ballpark estimate worksheet.
That's right. Get it at choosetosave.org and find out how much you'll need to save for your future.
Gee, thanks, Savings Man.
No, thank you.
So visit choosetosave.org and stay tuned for more Savings Man.
Kenny, jàngal ma sa table de multiplication ma dégg.
3 et 3. 3 fois 2, 6. 3 fois 5, 7.
Bu jëkk Mariama ndax mën nga ñoo wax
as leaders, as a team, we're not going to let anybody just roll over and die, because we're working towards tournament time here. Regular season, as you can tell, we're not going to win that with, I don't think we can. So we're working towards the tournament here, and that's what our main focus is, just working through the second half of the season, getting better. 4.5 weeks, tournament time comes, that's going to be the time that we want to excel.
Do you think that you guys are reaching the expectations of not just yourselves, but people outside of this locker room?
Well, to begin the season, I think the expectations weren't very high at all. And then we came in, got some wins, huge win over Wittenberg, and I think that set the expectations a lot higher than what everybody else expected. So I think that the expectation is high for us right now. We really want to get back to satisfying that expectation right now.
You have 9 games remaining here in the regular season. You've played all 9 of these teams that you're going to play. You've already played them once this season. Against those teams, you're 2-7. What do you have to do on this next run of 9 that you didn't do the first time through the conference?
Well, there's a couple things that we need to do. One is just communicate a lot better. Another thing is we need to start playing together. I know myself, I've had a couple 20-point games. Max has had a couple 20-point games. Colin had an 18-point game the other night. McAllister comes off with a 16-point game. Yaz, 18, 16 here or there. Now, if we string all that together and we just piece it all together within one game where we're all coming on, we're going to be a dangerous team. And that's what we need to do against teams. And also pick up our defense, because 2 of the teams that we lost to shot 60% from the floor, which is unheard of. So we up our defense a lot. We think that we could obviously do better than 2-7 this second round and win more games than we did last time.
Those teams shooting 60% against you guys, is that a lucky day for them, or is that a bad day defensively for the Otterbein Cardinals?
I think it's a little bit of both. I know that when we played Marietta, the first team that shot 60%, we just went completely away from our defense. It was a first OAC game, first away game. I think that everybody was a little flustered out there, and everybody didn't know where their spots were, and they shot exceptional, and it showed. So I think it had a little bit to do with them shooting so good, but it had a lot to do with our defense. You know, we were not playing the defense that we're accustomed to. And Capital, who also shot well. Those are 2 best teams in the league, and they're the top for a reason.
I mean, you know, there's games, Wilmington, John Carroll, Baldwin Wallace, these are games that you guys were, I mean, you were winning a couple of those games at halftime, and you only ended up losing those games in the final minutes. But a team like Capital, a team like Marietta, how do you approach those games?
We approach them hungry. I mean, what do you want to do if you lost by that much to a team? You want to go out there and you want to beat them just as bad as they beat you. And everybody in this locker room wants that more than anything. And in the past, I mean, we've went down to Capital and lost bad, and they came here and they've lost bad. So that's the good thing about it, is those 2 teams are coming to our place to play this time, and they're coming into our house with our fans, our student section to play. And that's a little bit what we're going to feed on. And obviously the last games too.
Capital, go back to that game. I know it's not one that you want to go back to a whole lot, but towards the end of that game there, they kept their full court press on, and then the final seconds, they had 98 points.
So the crowd really amped here. A little restless. They want 100. I don't know if Sherry Adams is actually going to take a shot at it. We'll see how Coach Goodwin feels about that. They will. And they'll get it.
And there was 5 seconds left on the clock. They were up, obviously, by a large margin. But they passed the ball in, and they put a shot up. They went for the 100 points. Does that rub you guys a little bit the wrong way?
Absolutely, yes. At the point, we knew it was going to happen. We knew they were trying. So there's no doubt it rubs us the wrong way.
What do you have to say to Adrian's Army and Cardinal Nation out there for people who look at this team and say, oh, it seems 5-11. I'm not sure if, I'm going to make the trip out there tonight. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to the Reich. What do you have to say to people that look at the record and say 5-11? I don't know if I want to necessarily go.
Well, I got to say, we play as hard as we can every night. I know people have came up to us and came up to me personally even and said, you guys might have lost, but I've never seen a more fun game. You guys play hard, period. And with their support, it's unbelievable what their support can do. Take, for example, the Wittenberg game. Biggest game we've had this year, biggest student section we've had this year, and probably the best team that we've played, and we beat them. Wittenberg beat Marietta. Marietta's leading our league. So there's no doubt about it that the student section and the fans, the community, help us tremendously. They give us that extra boost that we would need in the second half when we're down 2 with 30 seconds left. They're the ones that are going to give us that boost. They're the ones that are going to help us get through and pull through that game and get that win. So there's no doubt about it that we want as many people as we can there as possible. And we appreciate every single person that comes out to it too.
And you mentioned the second half of games. Take a look at that real quick. First half of basketball games this year, +6 in points-wise. Second half, -84. What changes at intermission that causes you guys to drop off a little bit?
Well, there's no doubt that we need to start learning how to finish games. And I think a lot has to do with experience too. We were up at Con Carroll the other night. We were at a 20-4 lead in the first half. When we came back, we lost in the second half, obviously. I looked on the floor at one point, and we had 4 guys that have never played on that floor before. 4 guys that are capable to play on that floor, but so inexperience, I think, plays a key in it. So we got to work through that, but I think that having this first round of the OACs under our belt now, they got some more experience, and I think the second half is going to really pick up and be a different story for us in the second half.
You and Tommy, I know have been some of the more vocal leaders, Derek Dickey as well. What do you guys say to the team after you lose a 20-4 lead, after you lose a 6-point lead at half to Wilmington, after you lose a 1-point game to Baldwin Wallace, after they make two free throws with 3 seconds on the clock? What do you say to the young guys and the rest of the team as a leader after those devastating losses?
We look at them and say, hey, this is tough, but it happens, More for this game, think about it, like you said, till midnight, and then you have to move on because this league moves way too quick. Wednesday, Saturday. So you got to get past that, and you have to move on to the next game and start worrying about the next game, getting prepared for the next game. And, we knew coming into this that our time was going to be in the tournament time. So we're looking at them saying, look at our positives, but not forget about our negatives also, and move forward to the next game, and on to the next game, and on to the next game, and just keep working hard, knowing that if we just keep working as hard as we can every day and getting a little bit better every day, then we're going to be a scary team come tournament time in February.
And there's a lot of variables that play into the answer of my next question, but 5-11 last year after 16 games, 5-11 this year after 16 games, like we said earlier, a lot of similarities. But then you look at the coaches, Dick Reynolds and Todd Adrian, and there's almost no similarity between those two guys. Two very, very different styles of coaching. Kind of tell us a little bit about each of those styles and how they're different and how you think it has changed the way that this team plays basketball?
Well, old style, Coach Reynolds' style was a lot of let's walk the ball up the court, get into half-court offense, run the same plays he's run for 40 years. And they knew him, but there was so many counters that you could do to him to get the ball in the hoop. Todd Adrian's style is, let's push, get the ball up the floor, and it's defense. We're all about defense. We're the best defensive team in the league right now, according to stats. So he is all about just in your face, let's get after defensively, let's get on the floor, get after the ball, get every 50-50 ball, and then let's push the ball, let's push it right down their throats. So I think that's the biggest difference in coaching styles with Coach Reynolds and Coach Adrian.
Do you think that was difficult or still is difficult for guys that have, especially like yourself, that have played with Reynolds, their whole college career, and then you bring in a guy like Adrian who has that different playing style? Was that at the beginning of the year difficult for some of you guys?
I wouldn't go as far as difficult, but I would go to say it was different. I think I've told you earlier in the year, like, it was different, and it was adjustment that needed to be made. And I think guys are still trying to make that adjustment, but it's a good adjustment and it's a good different because it's exactly what's needed in today's game, and it's exactly what our team needs because that's what everybody else is doing. And to just be able to get after it and get up on defense and push the ball is what we need to do to beat teams. And so I think everybody is adjusting well, but there's still, you can see here and there, little times where you could see going back to the old system. You could see, a guy standing around in defense with his hands down, where that's where we would have been last year.
Final question here, Zach. You're a senior, you're 5-11. What do you look to get out of the rest of this season?
What I look to get out of is having a good second round of the OAC, proving to people that we're not a 5-11 team, because we're not. I mean, we've lost to Baldwin Wallace by 1. If we just a couple tweaks here, there, we really believe that our record could be almost flip-flopped. We really do believe that. And anybody that's come and watched our games could see that. Besides a couple of our games that we've played, it's obvious. And so what I want out of this season is, like I said, good second round of the OACs. And by that time, 4.5 weeks, when we get into February and that OAC tournament time, we're ready to turn it on, and people aren't going to want to play us. That's what I look to get out of this. And then, obviously, winning the OAC tournament and getting to the national tournament.
All right, Zach, thank you. I know it's at a time like this where you're on a losing streak and such, it can be difficult, to come in here and answer some of these questions, but we definitely appreciate you sitting down with us, and wish you luck the rest of the season.
Back at it now as the Cardinals and Pioneers set to take the floor at Reynolds Court, where the Otterbein Cardinals lead by 8 against the Marietta Pioneers. A tremendous showing thus far for the Cardinals, at least going by the scores. They lead by 8 against the #1 team in the Ohio Athletic Conference, the Marietta Pioneers. 9-1 in conference play is the Pioneers, and I mean, they've really had a sluggish start, a sluggish first half, and what do you expect to see going into the second half?
They should be very thankful where they are right now, being up in this game. Still 20 minutes left to go. It's a little too early to start using the U word, that being upset, of course. And I know Coach Adrian, of course, drilled his boys that don't look at the scoreboard, just keep playing your game and actually try to play a better game than you were in the first half, because the Cardinals were still very
Bischoff
sloppy.
hits the 3 right out of the gate, and the Cardinals extend that lead. 38-27 your score now. Bischoff adds to already a team high, now has 13 points on the day.
Important to see the Cardinals get off to that quick start. That's the main reason they're still in this one, shooting 6 of 9 from behind the perimeter in this game compared just to 2 of 13 for the Pioneers.
Hammond out to Kimmy in the corner, no good, rattles out. Baconhaster with the defensive board. And we do want to point out quite a telling stat as Baconhaster breaks toward the hoop. Nice pass there down low to the senior, and he puts it in and finishes for the Cardinals. 40-27 is your score. We do want to point out, however, a stat that's been very telling through the course of this season. Otterbein +8 points-wise in the first half as J.J. Martin hits the mid-range jumper, and minus 73 in the second half. So the Cardinals have definitely been a much stronger first half team than they have been in the second half of games this season. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if there's any drop-off in play for the Cardinals here as Bischoff drives over to the corner to Yazernbeck. No good off the back of the rim. 40-29 your score. 18 and a half minutes left in regulation. Hammond drives and is fouled on the shot. Hits hard. Down in front of the student section there. Hammond still down. Gets up with a little bit of help from his teammates. Looks to be all right. But definitely hit the ground hard. So he'll shake that off and head to the free throw line.
Hammond with 6 points in the first half was the Pioneers' leading scorer. And he knocks down his first free throw attempt of 2 after being fouled hard down along the baseline.
And we're seeing here, David, the definition of the phrase live and die by the 3. The Marietta Pioneers definitely live by it there in that first matchup between these two teams as they went 18 of 31, 58%. A jump ball now. Possession arrow in Marietta's favor, but it certainly looked like Baconhasser had that one wrapped up.
Baconhasser definitely did his best to recover that fumble on the court there, getting his whole body over it, but the Zebras on the court rule jump ball, a questionable call there.
So the Pioneers, another possession. Hammond's going to drive up with the left hand. Great defense, forcing Hammond to alter his shot. Can't get it to go. Otterbein down the court, still with a double-digit lead here in the right center. Eckelberry picks up his dribble, gives to Yazernbeck. Bischoff far side. Nice move on Owens. Then dishes out to Juergens. Yazernbeck now drives baseline. Doesn't get it to go, but Tyler Hammond will pick up the foul. And Andy Yazernbeck will head to the free throw line.
Yazernbeck, not much of a scoring threat in the first half, but he did come away with 7 assists to help take the advantage going into halftime.
My mistake there. They will call that foul on the floor. So Cardinals inbound from the baseline. Shot clock at 23. Eckelberry drains it for 3, and the Cardinals lead is back to 13. Colin Eckelberry stepping up big time here. The senior coming through with big shot after big shot. And the Cardinals move that lead back to 13. Now Baconhasser underneath will pick up a foul on Kimmy as he drives the lane. So 2 shots coming for the Pioneers, but man, what a showing here by the Cardinals coming out of the gate here in the second half.
Certainly have come out hot. Eckelberry 3 of 4 now from beyond the perimeter. 9 points for him in the game.
Van Meter now subs in for the Cardinals. Baconhasser exits. Second free throw is good. Full court press. Still man-to-man defense, but full court press now on for Pioneers. Yazernbeck gets it across. Van Meter, top of the key. Eckelberry off a screen from Van Meter. Stops and pops, can't get it to go. Rebound, Marietta. Jacob Owens brings it across. Now over to Martin and over to Hammond. Owens open 3, no good. And a foul away from the ball. That goes against Marietta. And that's Humphrey on the foul, so Otterbein now will have the possession. Tyler Worstel will check in for the Pioneers. Tyler Hammond will get a short breather here. Also substitution, this for Otterbein. Derek Dickey enters the game for Andy Yazernbeck. So on the floor right now for Otterbein, Juergens, Dickey, Eckelberry, Bischoff, and Van Meter. 43-31 your score, 12-point lead for the Cardinals. 16 and a half left to play here in the Reich Center. And Bischoff gets it picked, and that's Owens down the other way, and he finishes on the fast break. So again, a turnover leads to points, and the Cardinals really hurting themselves with those turnovers. Very sloppy play at certain points in this game, as Eckelberry's going to drive, lay up the floater, and gets it to fall. So Eckelberry responds with a nice runner right there in the lane. Down low, and a nice shot there. That's Stevenson on the turnaround and gets fouled, so he'll go to the line. We are going to go right now down to the court to Jordan Brown. Jordan, what do you have for us?
I'm on. Thanks, guys. Starting off this second half, Coach Adrian's already on the bench saying, don't play like we're up by 11. Play like it's a close game. Be aggressive. Don't give them anything that they can't take themselves. Get them to the corner and turn them away from there. Negative body language towards the officials is not what we want. Back to you.
Thank you, Jordan. Good call there. And Van Meter misses the floater. Marietta and Tyler Warstell now at the other end. Martin fakes the three, instead drives. Nice play there by Van Meter, and that goes off of Martin. And Otterbein will get possession. So a beautiful defensive play there by Max Van Meter on J.J. Martin, as he was able to recover after being pump faked into the air by Martin. Good job, Van Meter. Ball now in the hands of the Cardinals.
And Van Meter kind of surprised at first, but he's able to stay on his hip as he tries to drive the lane, get his hand up. I believe that's the first block shot the Cardinals have had this game. In addition to that, he makes it go off the Pioneers. Otterbein takes over possession.
Dickey for three. Good! And Derek Dickey, the senior, puts it in from the corner, and the Cardinals are shooting very well tonight in the Reich Center against the Marietta Pioneers.
Otterbein now 8 of 12 from outside the perimeter. We talked about in the pregame that would be the biggest key, and they're definitely hitting, coming off hot here in the second half.
Martin for three on the other end for Marietta. He puts it in. So I'll give you a three, you give me a three.
That broke a long three scoreless streak for the Pioneers, going way back to the midway point in the first half. Just their third three-point of the goal of the game in 16 tries.
Bischoff now the pull-up jumper against Owens. Rebounded by McKean, who's now in the game for the Pioneers. Martin on his sixth three-point attempt misses, but the rebound goes to Stevenson, and he lays it in off the glass. Score 48-41, and Marietta starting to surge back a little bit here as the once 13-point lead for the Cardinals is now down to 7. Timeout, Coach Adrian, and the Otterbein Cardinals will talk this one over as Marietta has found a little bit of momentum, but J.J. Martin, one of the better three-point shooters on the Marietta Pioneer squad, just 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. Just a couple possessions ago, got that first three to fall, but man, you look at these numbers and it's really very, very telling. Obviously, you have the three-point shooting for both teams is just it's night and day. I mean, it's not even close. Otterbein 8 of 12, 66%, and then you have Marietta 3 for 17. That is rough from beyond the arc. Comes out to about 17 or 18%. So Otterbein really taking advantage of the poor shooting here by Marietta.
They really have. They've been doing a very effective job of playing defense on the perimeter. Not so much in the post. We've seen a few easy baskets for them down low, but they've done a wonderful job of shutting down the conference's second leading scorer, and J.J. Martin coming into this one. Held them to just a few points here. And Otterbein, as you said, taking advantage. They have only had one turnover at the 4:13 mark in this half so far, but they still have a -5 turnover difference in the game. And that's what's hurting them to only have a 7-point lead at this point. As you mentioned, they definitely are hitting their threes, though, and that's what's kept them alive in this game.
No one on either side really in any kind of foul trouble. as the teams will retake the court after the full timeout taken by Todd Adrian, the first-year head coach of the Otterbein Cardinals. So Bischoff now will inbound. Dickey still in the game, running the point. Bischoff tightly defended by Hammond. Goes right, over to Baconhaster, dribbles in with his left. Stevenson, nice defensive play there. And we're gonna get a jump ball there on the play there by Stevenson. Nice job getting his hands up and blocking that shot from Baconhaster. Arrow in favor of the Cardinals. Shot clock at 12. Tommy Waterwash now in for the Cardinals. Dickey gets it in to Baconhaster. Shot clock under 10. Dickey dribbles left, far side. Bounce pass over to Waterwash. Down to 4, down to 3. Bischoff long 3 off the front of the rim and does not go down, but Kylie Gessner does a nice job underneath. Trying to rip that ball out of possession of Marietta. Goes his jump ball, and arrow now in favor of Marietta. So they inbound the ball. 13 minutes, 40 seconds left. Cardinals lead by 7, 48-41 your score here in Westerville, Ohio. Stevenson down low, double team by Gessner and Baconhaster. Nice play by Gessner, stepping in front, picking off that pass. And here come the Cardinals in transition. Kylie Gessner has really earned a much greater amount of playing time in recent weeks. The senior plays the game very well, very smart player. Coming off the bench for Todd Adrian has been a nice addition here in the recent weeks, coming off playing very well. And Bischoff with some nifty moves gets a jumper off and puts it in. 9-point lead for the Cardinals as Bischoff adds to his team high. Now the shot is up and rebounded. The offensive boards, Marietta's holding tough here. The lead's still at 7. And just an errant, careless pass there from Bischoff, intended for Gessner, but unfortunately Gessner's not 6'8".
Yeah, ugly pass there, and we've seen a couple possessions now. Marietta coming away with those second chance points. That was their 7th offensive rebound of the game. They've been able to easily convert from those missed shots and get easy rebounds, crashing the boards, and put it back up for the layups. Important for the Cardinals that they get their hands in there and they're able to disrupt that and stop the offensive boards for the Pioneers.
Worstel now does the same on the other end as he throws it away. And into the first row of the seats there. So back-to-back careless plays. One for Otterbein, one for Marietta, and we're back where we started. Otterbein with possession. Van Meter dishes to Bischoff, defended by Hammond. Yazernbeck, shot clock at 10, drives baseline, goes up and puts it in. Andy Yazernbeck, three-point opportunity coming as he will head to the free throw line, looking to take advantage of the and one. While we have a second here, we want to take a look at the OAC standings. The Ohio Athletic Conference led, of course, by Marietta, the Marietta Pioneers, who come in with a 9-1 record in the conference as they beat Capital recently in a buzzer beater. So you have Baldwin Wallace is second, and then you have Capital. Baldwin Wallace actually beat Marietta, so up towards the top, a lot of competition, and then Otterbein down a little lower, but definitely playing better here as they have number 1 Marietta on the ropes here at home. McKean now drives. Van Meter with tough defense, but the offensive rebound by Stevenson, and he puts it back up, gets it off the window, also draws the foul, and he'll head to the line looking for a three-point play.
There it is again, the 8th offensive board for the Pioneers. They're coming with those easy second chance points as the Cardinals really need to try to deflect those away so they can at least stop them from being able to make easy layups after their misses.
Stevenson converts on the and one opportunity. And the Cardinals' lead is back to 7. Van Meter. Defended by Martin. Down low, spin move, looking for a foul. Doesn't get it, and it's another turnover. Martin thought about the pull-up three, hasn't shot well tonight. You have to wonder if his confidence is a little shaken. Instead, he's going to drive, give off to Stevenson for the short jumper, and knocked out of bounds by J.J. Martin. Doesn't like the call, neither does his coach.
Martin might not like the call, but it was the right one. He got his hand in there, tapped it away out of bounds before a Cardinal could get it.
Van Meter, top of the key. Eckelberry now, off a screen from Juergens, puts up the three, no good, off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Martin. McKean now at the other end, tipped away by Eckelberry. Eckelberry goes down, leaving McKean open. He drives, wild finish, can't get it to go. And Yazernbeck comes up the loose ball. Van Meter now. Looking, gives to John Juergens. Defended by Stevenson. Goes up, gets stripped by Martin, and goes off the foot. Wow, it goes off, it went off the foot, I believe, of Juergens. But they're gonna call it, I guess off of Martin? I don't know. David, did you see what I saw? I thought I saw the ball go off the foot of Juergens, but
that's how it appeared to be to me too, but apparently the officials ruling differently than that.
We'll take it.
Yeah, either way, if it benefits the home team, we'll take the call, and Otterbein will maintain possession.
Shot clock at 15. Yazernbeck now over to Eckelberry. Water wash to Juergens. Good ball movement by the Cardinals. Eckelberry's going to take a shot, and it goes in and out as Eckelberry almost had his fourth three-pointer of the game. Not the case. Marietta now at the other end. Hammond stuck. Gets it out to Owens. And back to Hammond, looking for Stevenson down low. Instead, makes a move. Martin thought about the three. Instead, drives, dish to Stevenson. Nice job there, Max Van Meter getting up and rejecting Stevenson. Max Van Meter with a couple blocks here in the second half, playing sensational defense. However, he will exit the game, along with John Juergens coming in for the two, are Zach Baconhasser and Kylie Gessner. Owens on the inbound, puts up the three, no good. Some physical play underneath, and Colin Eckelberry comes out with it. We're now under 10 minutes to play here in the second half. 9 minutes, 30 seconds. Cardinals lead by 7. Water wash, long three, way off the mark. Rebounded by Baconhasser. He steps on the baseline. Marietta ball. Water wash seemed to force a shot there pretty early in the shot clock.
Important for the Cardinals not to get too excited here, keeping their game plan and work that shot clock down. Don't have to take shots too early here.
Martin now for three, no good, but Worstel sets an illegal screen, picks up the foul. But J.J. Martin missed the shot anyways, and he has really struggled tonight on Reynolds Court. Yazernbeck to Water wash. Cardinals moving the ball around the perimeter. Eckelberry down to Baconhasser, shot clock at 10. Working on Napier, up with the right hand, no good. Gessner on the ground, and it's gonna go off of Kylie Gessner, so Marietta possession now. And both coaches up out of their seat, pacing the sideline as we near the end of regulation, 8 minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock here in the Reich Center. Cardinals hold on to their 7-point lead. Both teams have been idle the last couple of minutes. Kimmy now takes a shot from the 3-point line, and Gessner comes in with the hack. That's it. I mean, that's a pretty good foul there by Gessner, as that was going to be an easy lay-in there for Napier.
Not bad there. As we said earlier, if you're going to foul them, at least make sure they don't make the basket. Not so sure that Marietta didn't benefit from an over and back there on that rebound. Able to haul it in to set up this foul shot, though.
Jake Bischoff, the leading scorer for the Cardinals with 15 points. 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 4 from beyond the 3-point line. Leading scorer for Marietta is J.J. Martin. Even though he has struggled, he does have 9 points, 4 of 10 from the field, which includes a 1 of 6 from 3-point range. Napier gets both of his free throws, and the lead goes down to 5 now for the Cardinals.
Impressive to see Bischoff as the leading scorer for the Cardinals, seeing as how this is just his 7th game in a Cardinal uniform and only the 3rd that he's ever started.
Water Wash, open 2, off the front of the rim, no good. Offensive rebound by Gessner. And we're gonna get an over and back now as Gessner trying to save that loose ball. Eccleberry able to get it before Marietta gets on the fast break, but it is a turnover, and Marietta will inbound from half court. Worstel now, top of the key. Over to Owens. Martin. Again, passed up a 3-point opportunity. Now he's going to take it. No good, too long. And J.J. Martin just does not have it tonight. Now Jake Bischoff bringing it down. He's going to pull it up. Slow it down here, and Jasnerbeck give over to Van Meter. Bischoff, nice pass over to Eccleberry. Nice move there. Open 3 for Bischoff. Got it! Drains it. Number 22, the freshman, Jake Bischoff, with another big 3 here for the Cardinals down the stretch. And a foul now as Worstel hits the floor. See who they call it on. It's going to be against Max Van Meter.
That 3-point goal, the Cardinals are now shooting over 50% from behind the 3-point line in this game. That was their 9th tray to go down. Compared to the poor performance we've seen on the other side of the court by the blue uniforms, just 3 made in 21 attempts.
This game has really been a surprise, I think, to many. Not just due to the fact that the Otterbein Cardinals, who have really struggled of late, are beating one of the hottest teams in the conference and record-wise the best team in the conference, but the shooting woes for Marietta, 3 of 21 from behind the 3-point line. We talked about the open. Marietta coming in, a very good 3-point shooting team, but just have not had it tonight, and we have to give credit where credit is due as well with the Otterbein Cardinals playing good defense, getting out there and defending. Bischoff now hits another 3, and Bischoff, the freshman, is hot here in half number 2, and he leads the team now with 21 points after that last 3-pointer. Worstel pulls up, ball sits on the front of the rim, comes out. Marietta, however, picks up the offensive rebound. Worstel now. Out to Owens. Nice job there. Bischoff gets the tip. Jasnerbeck's gonna push. Worstel comes up from behind, knocks it away, and Marietta has numbers 3 on 2 the other way. Owens drives, puts it up and in. Nice job there by Jacob Owens to finish off the fast break. Eccleberry now ahead in transition. 6.5 minutes left to play here as the Cardinals hold a 7-point lead.
If I'm Coach Adrian here, I want to make sure the boys get the ball in Bischoff's hand.
Just
another costly turnover.
Worstel now misses the layup. And again, I mean, Marietta just missing shots that a number 1 team would usually make. 59-52 your score right now. And another turnover there as Bischoff and Van Meter are not on the same page. Another ball just thrown out of bounds. Wasted possession there for the Cardinals. Timeout taken now by Otterbein head coach Todd Adrian. So a little break in the action here right at the 6-minute mark. 7-point lead for the Cardinals, 59-52.
both teams obviously shooting themselves in the foot here in the second half. The Cardinals are doing it with their costly turnovers, and Marietta's doing it with their poor shooting from the field, shooting a very poor percentage. They've had several easy looks down low around the basket and have been unable to come away with 2 points many times in this game, but Coach Adrian's boys will certainly take it. But if I'm him right now, I'm trying to run my offense through Bischoff, who has 21 points, as Harrison mentioned to us earlier, is the team's leading scorer despite just being in his 7th game as a Cardinal. And he's hot right now, especially from the perimeter, as are the Cardinals in general, shooting over 50% from behind the three-point arc. And I'm going to try to keep that game plan going, because that's a big momentum swing. Anytime you can nail a three, it's a dagger in the heart of the opponent, and it's a big factor in the momentum of this game, which we've seen change hands a lot, but I think the Cardinals have a slight advantage right now in that department.
Marietta has brought quite a following, as they have a pretty good amount of fans here to support the Pioneers. We here at Otterbein, we like to be hospitable, but at the same time, I don't think we would mind too much if the Pioneer faithful went home a little sad tonight.
Definitely not. I wouldn't have a problem with Marietta leaving this and having fallen into a tie for first place in the conference with the only team who has beaten them, Baldwin-Wallace. Baldwin-Wallace taking on Ohio Northern today. If they can get the job done and Otterbein can get the job done today, then they will fall into a first place tie in the conference at 9-2. Both of those teams would be with that record. And I definitely wouldn't have a problem with Coach Adrian getting one of his first signature victories as coach here at Otterbein in his first year, replacing the legend Dick Reynolds.
Still a lot of time left in this ball game. Hammond over to Stevenson, long two, off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Yazernbeck. Van Meter to Bischoff. He's going to go up off the glass and in for two. Nice pass from Van Meter to the freshman Bischoff, who adds to his point total, now 23 on the night. Stevenson tries to go with the cross-court pass, tipped by a Cardinal, recovered by Hammond. Stevenson to Hammond. And now you're seeing Marietta starting to pass up open threes, something that they do not do very often. McKean now driving, stops and pops and gets it to go. 61-54 now with just a few ticks under 5 minutes left here in half number two.
Mentioned the Pioneers probably feeling a little nervous about taking those three-point shots, seeing as how they're just shooting 13% behind the arc in this game. It's got to make you second guess yourself, even though you know you're a very good three-point shooting team.
And a foul right there as Humphrey gets a piece of Bischoff as he tried to make a pass. J.J. Martin now checking in for Marietta. Baconhaster in for Otterbein. Humphrey exits for Marietta. Juergens for Otterbein. Jacob Owens also leaves the floor. Tyler Worstel back on for Marietta. Yazernbeck inbounds to Echoberry, three from the corner. Baconhaster tries to tip it out, cannot do so. And Hammond gonna drive, put it off the glass, and that's a nice play there by Hammond. He saw an opening, and he is a very quick player. Gets to the rim, off the glass, finishes, and he's gonna get an opportunity to put another one up for the Pioneers here as he heads to the free throw line.
We've seen the Cardinals close those lanes in the post a lot today. Unable to do it there. Good job by the speedster Hammond to find the basket, go up and get fouled, and try to complete the play here.
Hammond does just that. So Pioneers pull now within 4 as Tyler Worstel gets faked out of his shoes a little bit there by Yazernbeck. Van Meter now over to Bischoff. Approaching the 4-minute mark. Long two from Van Meter, no good. Offensive rebound by Yazernbeck. Gives it back to Van Meter, who's cutting towards the basket. Can't finish again. Otterbein misses golden opportunity there to extend their lead. J.J. Martin again passes up the three. Nice defense there by Baconhaster, who picks up the block. Bischoff's going to slow it down as we tick down under 3:45 left in the second half. 4-point lead now for the Cardinals. Eckleberry defended by McKean. Shot clock down to 10. Shot clock down to 5. Bischoff. Nice pass to Van Meter down low. Threads the needle to number 32. The assist to Bischoff, the bucket to Van Meter, and the Cardinals now lead by 6.
Good job, Bischoff there to find the open lane and find a Cardinal to find the open layup.
Todd, Adrian, and the Otterbein faithful here wanted a jump ball call there. However, they did not get it. So Marietta trailing by 6. Under 3 minutes to go now. A charge taken by Baconhaster, and that's going to energize this crowd and the team as well, as the senior takes a big charge there. Tyler Hammond charged with the personal. Vanderwall and the Marietta bench going to call a timeout right there, and he is fuming on the Marietta sideline.
You mentioned after taking that charge, you start to hear the crowd get into it for the first time. Adrian's Army down there and the baseline. Not too terribly bad of a crowd for a Wednesday night game, but starting to get into it. They can feel that the Cardinals have them on the ropes here. You don't want to use the word upset too much, but with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left, Cardinals are in good position here as long as they can hang on, keep hitting their threes, and minimize the turnovers, which it seems like they've done a somewhat better job here in the second half, but not probably up to the standards that Coach Adrian wants out of his boys.
Now down to the court. Jordan Brown has some information for us. Jordan, down to you.
Guys, the atmosphere down here has absolutely taken a turn for the Cardinals' favor. You can see that not only the bench for Marietta, but also their fans have just become very fired up by all the calls made by the refs. Head coach for Marietta as well is getting into it, and even the players have started giving a little bit of body language towards the refs as well. We hope that, that this stays the kind of atmosphere in favor of the Cards. Back up to you.
Thank you, Jordan. And coming out of the timeout, Marietta facing a 6-point deficit with 2:45 left in this game. And Pioneers will come back onto the court with Martin, McKean, Hammond, Owens, and Stevenson on the floor. The Cardinals will break their huddle with Bischoff, Baconhaster, Van Meter, Eckleberry, and Yazerbeck in goal. So here in the right center on Reynolds Court, the Cardinals lead the top team in the conference, the Marietta Pioneers, by 6. Under 3 minutes to play. Van Meter now up the floor over to Eckleberry and back to Yazerbeck to set up the offense. Pick and roll there, and well defended by Marietta. Did not fool Stevenson, and whether he knew it or not, he made a good defensive play there. Stevenson had his back turned, but was able to get a little piece of that ball and deflected into the hands of a Pioneer. Martin now for 3, and he hits it. And if you're a Cardinal, that is not a good sign, as a sleeping bear may have just been woken up from hibernation as Martin hits a 3 and pulls the Marietta Pioneers back within one possession.
Just their 4th 3-point goal, but as you mentioned, you don't want to see him to start to heat up here, not with the 2-minute mark.
Bischoff now, a jumper, no good, way off the mark, but Van Meter comes up with a huge offensive rebound and goes up, gets hacked on the way up. Martin charged with the foul, so 2 free throws here for Van Meter, and that was a big possession there, as Marietta was starting to get that momentum going back into their favor. And then a big miss there by Bischoff, but fortunately, number 32, Dan Meter, the junior, was there to scoop it up. Misses free throw number 1.
Van Meter, a good guy. You want at the charity stripe for the Cardinals down the stretch, shooting 67% on the year from the free throw line, second best on the team. Someone you want to see at the line shooting for you if you're a Cardinal faithful.
Dan Meter came into the game as the leading scorer for the Cardinals.
30-second timeout.
So 30-second timeout now for Otterbein after Van Meter goes 1 for 2 at the line. Baymeter came into the game averaging 12 points. Like I said, team high.
Important to see how Coach Adrian will tell his boys what kind of offensive, defensive strategies to run here. With a minute 50 left, there's only a 4-point lead. It's too early in the game to start running the clock down. Otterbein still needs to focus on trying to get as many points as they can here. 4 points is not a big enough lead or a cushion here for Otterbein to try to take it easy here. I'd like to see him still attack from the 3-point line, especially still try to run it through Jake Bischoff's hands, who's 5 of 6 from behind the arc today. And like we said, important that they keep Martin calm on the opposite side of the court. 12 points in this game. Don't let him start hitting those 3-point goals. He's only 2 of 8 as of now, but if he can catch fire at any point in time, as we know, as being the second leading scorer in the Ohio Athletic Conference.
The Otterbein women's basketball team, we've just gotten word that they have defeated the Pioneers at Marietta, so the streak continues. The women's basketball team has now won 9 games in a row. And they are scorching hot, as are the Cardinals here in this game. 64-60 your score. A miss there by Marietta. And the Cardinals have possession with a minute 20 left in regulation. 4-point lead for the Cardinals. We'll see if they can hold it. Should be a great finish. Bischoff now, defended by Hammond.
Coach Vanderwall screaming for a carry there on Yazenbach. He's not going to get it. Looked as though he might have trapped it against his body. Cardinals might have been fortunate in a way to come away with it, not getting a call on him.
Yazenbach to Bischoff off the screen. Bischoff falls down, and we're going to get a foul against Hammond. Marietta showing their displeasure with that call. And I'm not sure how Marietta has not picked up a technical yet. They have really been vocal and demonstrative there from their bench, and they've got to be pushing the buttons of these referees. Bischoff in the bonus, a 1-on-1 shot. Gets it to fall, extends the lead to 5 with another free throw coming.
Bischoff hasn't missed a free throw all year, knock on wood. 7 of 7 in his brief appearances at the charity stripe this year. And the broadcaster curse strikes again as he misses his first one of the year.
Hammond now with under a minute to play. 52 seconds left on the clock. Owens drives, puts up the fade. Can't get it to go. That's going to be, well, I thought it was going to be called above the cylinder, but they're going to give the points to Marietta. So now a 3-point lead standing for the Cardinals. 48 seconds left on the clock. 3-point lead for the Cardinals, and Coach Adrian will go now to address the Cardinals here as they try to finish this one off. It would be a big upset here in the right center against the 9-1 Marietta Pioneers. 13-4 overall, but 9-1 in the conference. This would be quite the exciting win here for the Cardinals if they can finish this one out.
Certainly would. Coach Adrian probably be the first to tell you that his first year here in Westerville hasn't gone as expected. The Cardinals coming in with just 6 wins on the year, but this is the signature win that you could be looking for. This is the one that the boys can rally around for the rest of the year. To say that they beat the #1 team in the conference, coming in with an impressive 13-4 record, you can say that you were one of 2 teams to beat them in conference if you can indeed hang on. That's something to hang your hats on despite the poor play preceding this game. And if they can hang in, despite the fact that they've had so many turnovers in this game, they know that they're a team who can come through any adversity if they can indeed win, despite the fact that they've turned the ball over so many times to the Pioneers.
So Marietta, 37% from the field, 17% from the 3-point line. And that is hard to believe, a team that was so hot now comes in to the right center and can't seem to hit one from beyond the arc. So 48 seconds now left in this game. Cardinals lead by 3. Yazenbach needs to get it in, instead calls timeout. So good defense there by the Pioneers coming out in the full court press. Also great awareness there by Yazenbach to come up, call that timeout to send Otterbein back to the bench and still with possession of the basketball.
It definitely was close, and Coach John Vanderwall, sixth season here, didn't like it. He thought it was a little too close to the 5-second violation there, but he does get the timeout. He looked like he wanted to chuck it long at first, then thought second about having a turnover there. Wisely calls the timeout. Otterbein will keep possession, 3-point lead here. Important for them to still try to, it's a one-possession game currently, try to score more, get it into a two-possession game. That way, no matter what they do on offense, you still have the lead.
This feels a lot like a game I mentioned earlier in the pregame 2 years ago when Tyler Hammond broke the hearts of Cardinal fans with that runner at the buzzer to beat the Cardinals by 1 point. Bischoff now in trouble and in a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Cardinals, but that could be expensive later in the game here. 44 seconds now remain. Bischoff was trapped, had nowhere to go, and lost possession of the basketball.
Yausenbach tried his best to get that timeout called, but he couldn't.
Van Meter now over to Yausenbach, and he gets fouled. McKean picks up the foul, and his coach not happy. He did not want that foul right there, and McKean seemed like he was told to foul, so interesting series of events there. Anyways, Yausenbach now will head to the free throw line.
72% free throw shooter on the year is Yausenbach. Important that he hits at least one of these to make sure that it's a two-possession game. Marietta can't take the lead on the next possession.
Now Coach Adrian playing the matchup game as he sends John Juergens in for Zach Baconhaster. Nice job by Yausenbach hitting a clutch free throw right there. Sends the lead to 4 points with 39.5 seconds remaining until the final buzzer. Yausenbach with a pair of clutch free throws extends the lead to 5. Hammond pushing the ball up the court. Marietta needs to hurry. Over to McKeon. Martin now, long three. No good. Rebounded by Van Meter, and he's going to get fouled. And as long as Otterbein can hit their free throws down the stretch here in the final 30 seconds, Otterbein should be able to come away with the victory here against the top-rated Marietta Pioneers.
The hometown bench obviously fired up there. As you said, Harrison, as long as they can keep coming away with these free throws, it looks like they should be able to pull out the victory. Very clutch, the past three of them being able to nail them despite the pressure on both Van Meter and Yausenbach in the past few attempts.
6-point lead for the Cardinals. Van Meter tries to make it 7, can't do so. McKean gets the rebound off the free throw, and he's going to dribble down off the backboard too hard, no good. Rebounded by Bischoff, dribbles out, gets the pass off. However, he was fouled before, but 21 seconds now on the clock, and the Reich Center is beginning to smell victory here as the Cardinals have a 6-point lead, just 21 seconds remaining. And Van Meter at the line, shooting 2. So the Cardinals with quite the performance here, David, in front of the home crowd, looking for their first home win of 2013, and boy, would this be a way to get it.
Definitely would. A very signature win for Coach Adrian's first year as he knocks down the first of 2. 2 of 3 today on the line. Cardinals proving very clutch here in the last few seconds of this game.
Bischoff at the line, gets it to fall, and the Cardinals reach 70.
26th point for Bischoff in the game as well.
Owens drives, down to Martin. Owens steps on the line, and that's a turnover, and that's going to do it. As we only have 13 seconds left on the clock, Otterbein holds an 8-point lead in a huge win right around the corner here for first-year head coach Todd Adrian and the Otterbein Cardinals.
It's all but over. Marietta's still going to go ahead and foul them, but with an 8-point lead with 11 seconds left, it's an insurmountable mountain now for them. Otterbein's going to come away with the victory, their 7th of the year, more importantly, they upset the top team in the Ohio Athletic Conference. A great victory for him here at the Reich Center, and a great victory here for Coach Adrian in his first year.
And this game, if anything, really shows how difficult of a conference this is. Teams at the bottom of the conference, contending with teams at the top. You mentioned that, once Marietta officially loses this game, they will be tied with Baldwin Wallace at the top of the OAC. And you look at Baldwin Wallace, and Otterbein had them on the ropes, but lost with 3 seconds left by 1 point to Baldwin Wallace. So Otterbein now 4-3 down to 2 to 1, and the Otterbein Cardinals come up with a big victory here at home in the Reich Center. Their first win in 2013 comes against the Marietta Pioneers, who came in riding high at 13-4. Otterbein knocks them down and dethrones Marietta from the top of the OAC. What a game here by the Cardinals. Jordan Brown is on the court. We will have interviews coming up shortly from head coach Todd Adrian, as well as Jake Bischoff, who finished with 26 points. The freshman here in the Reich Center comes up big. And Cardinal Nation, Adrian's Army, congratulating the players on their big-time win. David, put this into words for us.
It might not have been the prettiest victory. Coach Adrian will probably be one of the first to tell you that. But Otterbein regained after a very sloppy first half to come away and get the victory. They had 20 turnovers in this game, and not to mention the fact that Marietta overall took almost 20 more shots than Otterbein. Still couldn't get them to fall, only came away with 35%. The saving grace for the Cardinals in this one was the fact that they shot 52% from behind the arc, hitting 10 of 19 shots. Good ball handling for the most part when they weren't turning it over. They had 10 more assists than Marietta had in this game, and mainly because of the play around the perimeter, Otterbein was able to come away with the victory here over the top-ranked team in the OAC.
Jake Bischoff now joins our Jordan Brown down on the court after scoring 26 points. Jordan, we toss it now down to you.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Jake Bischoff. You had 26 total points. What does this win mean for you and your teammate?
It's a huge win for us because obviously Marietta was at the top of the league, and it's just a great team win to get the momentum going in the right direction.
Now to have a win under your belt, what are you guys going to do to keep that momentum going?
Continue to practice hard. I think offensively we were really patient tonight, and we made it a little bit easier on ourselves than we have in the past. So we're going to continue to work on that in practice and just keep getting better.
What did Coach say to you guys coming into the second half to keep you guys going?
Well, he wanted to keep the intensity at the same level, and maybe even a level above, because we knew that they were going to come out with a higher intensity. They didn't want to come in and lose to the 9th team in the conference like we were, so we had to match their intensity and go above and beyond in the second half.
Congratulations, good job tonight.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, Jordan, thank you. That was a great interview. Jake Bischoff, the well-spoken freshman, exits, and now we have Todd Adrian standing down with Jordan Brown. So, Jordan, we will toss it right back to you.
White, black, and blue stripes, not really the best fashion statement
Coach,
you made.
first of all, congratulations. This was obviously a big win for you and your team. Talk a little bit about Jake Bischoff starting off that second half with a 3 and then continuing on to get 26 points for the game.
Well, I mean, Jake is a talented kid, and he fits really well in with our program. He came a semester and worked his tail off to learn things, and the guys wanted him in. He actually is in a tough spot because we're starting him on the short because we have 2 injuries to our other two guards that should be playing, and when they come back, that's going to make our team even better. But yeah, I know. I mean, he's been working hard, and I love the fact that he was able to get back on. Not that he was taking bad shots, but tonight I really thought he did a good job of attacking the rim and choosing when to shoot and when to pass. And that's just him being a good player and getting comfortable in our system. So, we expect that out of him. He's a freshman, so every day it might be a little bit different. But I think you see, a good player is a smart kid that loves to compete and is getting more comfortable with his teammates.
At one point in a huddle, you said, guys, we never give up. How did your team show you tonight that they do never give up?
Well, our guys are warriors. They know they're undersized. We know we're not as big and strong as most of the teams, including this one. But we're working on never giving up on our game plan and really staying focused through a whole 40-minute game on what it is we're supposed to be doing and what tweaks we've made. And that's what I was trying to encourage them to do was just stay within themselves, stay with our game plan, and just keep executing. I thought they did it really well.
What does this win mean for you guys as a team together? How are we going to keep that momentum going for the next game?
Well, I mean, you know, a little confidence. I mean, I think when you beat a really good team who's coming off some nice wins, you know, I think it does more for you as a team to come together, especially this time of the year. Hopefully now when we get in tough games, we know that we can beat the best teams in our league, and we know how to do it. And I think we've talked a long time, you know, when we were 0 for 1 a couple times in a row, about just learning how to get victories. And I thought, you know, we stepped forward tonight and learned how to do that, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Congratulations, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
Great job down on the floor. Jordan Brown giving us those great interviews from Jake Bischoff, the freshman, who finished with 26 points, and then Todd Adrian, who gets a big win here in his first season as Otterbein head coach. Definitely his biggest win in his short Otterbein career this far. So a big win in the Reich Center for the Otterbein Cardinals. And we will now sign off here on Otterbein TV for Dustin Runyon, Danny Lebsock, Aaron Reinhart, Jacob Barker, Jordan Brown, and David Kinder. I'm Harrison Ralph saying good night from Otterbein TV. Go Cards.